Hi there, it's Dana Bowman here. I know it's been a very long time since I created a video. I haven't made a video since February 2020. And I'm happy to talk about why in a future video, but for now, I'm kind of getting back into it. So I don't know about you guys, but I've been pretty bored because of COVID. Normally I play sports, I play basketball and I play soccer once a week, each of those. I play squash every once in a while. I take meditation classes. And pretty much all of that has been canceled because of COVID. So I decided to spend some of my time doing some home improvement projects. And I thought, why don't I film these? I've been very blessed, and I'm very thankful to my dad. My dad is a handyman. He's taught me how to take care of my own home when I was growing up. And he's also a huge proponent of gender equality. So he has always taught me how to take care of my own place because he wants me to succeed and be self-sufficient. And quite honestly, I don't know how many people out there have that same kind of training from their parents. A lot of times when I walk into Rona or Home Hardware or Home Depot, I'm one of the only women walking around. Or if there's another woman there who's shopping, maybe she's there with her husband. So a lot of times I do feel a little bit alone, and I wanted to make home improvement projects more accessible for everyone. And just to show how easy and simple it is to do some of these home repair projects. And if you are interested in doing this kind of stuff on your own, all you need to do is just look it up on YouTube, and anything that you want to do in your home, there's probably a video out there showing you exactly like the best practices and how to do it. So this video is less instructional and more just like to help create accessibility for home improvement projects, and just to show that normal people who live in Edmonton and who are women do this kind of thing on their own. So some of the projects that I'm doing, and the first one that I have here is just how to putty a wall, which is it's almost derivative. It's so easy to do. But some of the other projects that I have planned are how to replace a doorknob on my cabinet. I also want to reupholster some dining room chairs. I also have some plans to create and install some wood shelving in my closets. So I have a couple of items planned. I just thought I would start out with something really, really simple. For again, two reasons. One, to make home improvement projects more accessible for everyone, and also because I'm bored and I'm doing this stuff anyway, so I might as well film it. So here we go. The first project that I'm doing is that I need to putty my ceiling. So what happened is that there's a construction project going on outside. They needed access to my windows on the inside to do some work, installing new weatherproof membrane and redoing the installation and installing a new baseboard. So I took down my blinds to protect them from damage, and I took them down by myself. These were really heavy blinds, and I ended up scratching the wall, you can see that, and the ceiling. So what I was going to do is just repaint it, but then I realized that I don't have any paint that matches my ceiling. I just lost the paint bucket, I guess, a while ago. So what I ended up doing is that I created a hole in the ceiling, you can see it there, and that's what I need to putty. So I made the hole using this X-Acto knife, and this is the paint sample that I got. So I just brought that to Home Depot, and they were able to color match it pretty close. And here's the extra paint that I have. So what I'm gonna show is me getting up there and puttying the ceiling so I can paint it and it'll look great. I'm not too worried about it looking perfect, just because my curtains are going to cover this area anyway for the most part. But I like my place to look really nice, so yeah, okay. I do live in an apartment, so I don't own my own ladder, and whenever I need a ladder, I just borrow the one from my condo building. Here is the ladder that I grabbed from the hallway. I put it on an old yoga mat because I am doing this by myself and I don't want the ladder to slip, and I put a weight behind it as well. And also I just don't want the ladder to scratch my flooring. Here is the putty that I'm going to use. It's been used before. I borrowed this from my dad, but putty is so cheap. I think it's like $10 from Rona. This hasn't been used in a couple of years, so when I opened it up, I was just looking out for mold or crunchiness. I didn't see either of those, so I just added some distilled water last night and I mixed it around. I need to mix it around again before I use it this morning, and then here is the putty spatula that I borrowed from my dad, but again, it's so cheap. I think that these things cost $10 or $15, and I just want to acknowledge that I really should be wearing safety goggles, but I don't know where mine are. I think I threw them out because they were all scratched up, so I'll be careful. I think I might have to paint right here too because this is scratching. Okay. Oh my god, this thing is a little bit too big for this bucket. Anyway, okay, so when I grab, normally when you putty and it's against like a wall, you can scrape up and down, but in this case, because I am against a corner, I can only scrape in one direction. So what I need to do is make sure I have enough putty on my spatula and then just get it in all the corners. Ooh. First, I might need to do this twice because the hole is actually pretty deep. I took out some of the drywall as well because I couldn't grab the paint. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do this twice. You can't make the putty too thick either, otherwise it's not going to dry properly. And I'm not planning on sanding this. I might need to go grab a sanding block though from Rona. But again, this is so high up, so do I really need to sand it? Probably not. I don't know, we'll see. Cool. And then I just wash the putty knife, or spatula, whatever you want to call it, right away because otherwise it will rust the aluminum immediately. Woo! Okay, cool. It's been 4 hours, so I'm just showing what it looks like now that there's only been one layer of putty put on. This is what it looks like now that I put on a second coat of putty. Looks pretty good. And then those are the scratches that I caused by taking down my blinds. It'll look good once I paint it. I'm all done. For today at least. So here is where the hole used to be. You can't really see it on the video. Can't really see it in person either. Like it looks pretty good from down here. So the putty needs to dry for at least 24 hours before I can paint it. So I won't be painting it today. But yeah, that's how you patch up a wall. It's pretty easy. So in addition to the home improvement projects that I mentioned at the beginning of this video, some of the other items that I would like to look at in the coming months is building my own spice rack for my kitchen. And I also want to install my bird feeder that I made myself with the help of my dad. Once the construction project is done outside, I'll install that. So let me know what you think about this kind of video. Please leave a comment.